Top 10 children who were raised by animals. A feral child is a human child that has had no human contact since a very young age. They have had no human care and no human experiences, such as care, behavior, or language. These types of children end up acting, walking, and communicating like animals. Although there have been many cases of feral children, these stories are the ones that became the most popular. Number 10. Dina Sanichar, the Indian wolf boy. Dina Sanichar was found in 1867 at the age of 6 in a wolf's cage. The hunters were looking for their prey in the Buland Shahar jungles where they spotted the boy following a pack of wolves. When he was found, he was walking on all fours and eating food from the ground. He was taken to the Sakandra orphanage where his condition improved. He eventually was weaned off of raw meat, but never learned to speak. Number 9. Kamala and Amala, the wolf girls of Midnapore. Kamala, 8 years old, and Amala, 18 months old, were found in a wolf's den. The two girls were not sisters, but it is believed that they were either abandoned by their parents or taken by the wolves. After hearing rumors of two ghostly figures walking with a pack of wolves, Reverend Joseph Singh, a missionary in charge of an orphanage in northern India, built a hide-a-tree to watch over the wolves. After rescuing the children, they continued to show feral signs. From spending too much time on all fours, their tendons and joints did not allow them to ever walk straight again. They even had heightened senses, like smell and sight, just like a wolf would have. Singh had a hard time trying to rehabilitate them back into human beings. Eventually, Amala got sick and died, which set Kamala's healing back as she went into mourning. Eventually, she got over the death of Amala and began to rehabilitate herself again. Number 8. Daniel, the Andes goat boy. In 1990, Daniel was first spotted in Peru. He had been raised by goats for 8 years and was believed to have survived by eating berries, roots, and drinking goat's milk. He developed all the feral characteristics of a goat and was fluently able to communicate with them, but was never able to learn a human language. After being found, the University of Kansas initiated investigations and named him Daniel. Number 7. The Syrian Gazelle boy. The 10-year-old Syrian boy was first seen in the middle of a gazelle's herd in the desert sands of Syria. To catch him, they had to use an Iraqi army jeep because he could run as fast as 50 kilometers an hour. He was very lean, strong, and fit. When this boy was captured, he was bound hand and foot because they were afraid that he would escape. Despite several attempts to flee, the Gazelle boy could never get away due to the state's harsh punishments for him for attempting to escape. Eventually, they put him into an asylum for the insane. Number 6. Bello, the Nigerian chimp boy. Bello was both physically and mentally disabled. When he was about 6 months old, his parents, who were part of the Fulani, a nomadic tribe, abandoned him. When the Nigerian chimp boy was first seen in the Falgore forest, he was 2 years old and had been brought up by a family of chimpanzees. After being found, he continued to walk around like a chimp, using his legs but dragging his arms on the ground. He also would throw things and would make loud chimpanzee-like noises that would disturb other people at night in the dorm. After about 6 years, by the time news agencies had heard about this discovery, he had mellowed out a little bit. Number 5. John Ssebunya, the Ugandan monkey boy. John ran into the wild at the age of 3 when he witnessed his father murdering his mom. Upon reaching the wild, the green African monkeys began to care for him to some extent. In 1991, he was found hiding in a tree. He resisted capture. His monkey family also tried to protect him by throwing sticks at the humans. After being taken back to an orphanage, he was identified as John Ssebunya. They found that he suffered from a disease that caused hair to grow all over his body. And after being cleaned up, there were scars and bruises all over him. At first, he was unable to talk or cry like a human, but eventually learned to speak, which suggests that before he ran away, he knew some human words. Now he not only can speak, but he is part of the Pearl African Children's Choir. Number 4. Traian Caldar, the Romanian dog boy. To escape his violent father, Traian Caldar fled his home at the age of 4 and joined a pack of dogs. He was just 7 years old when he was first found living in a cardboard box and running around naked. The Romanian boy was first spotted by Monolescu Ion when his car broke down where he was living. He called the police and they ended up rescuing the boy. Number 3. Rasham, Cambodian jungle girl. The poor girl lost her way in the Ratanakari forest in Cambodia when she was just 8 years old. After spending almost 19 years in the wild, she was discovered by a villager and later identified by her father. The girl wasn't able to speak any language except the words father, mother, and stomachache. She walked, talked, and ate like an animal. The family had to watch Rasham around the clock to make sure she wouldn't escape. But eventually in 2010, she finally managed to escape and assumingly went back to the jungle, where she has yet to be found again. Number 2. The Russian Bird Boy. Although this boy didn't live in the wild, he still came to be a feral child. He was found at the age of 7, living in a 2-bedroom apartment with his mother, surrounded by dozens of cages, bird feed, and droppings. His mother wouldn't communicate with him in a human language. When he was found, he only knew how to talk by chirping and flapping his arms like a bird. After authorities saved him, it was said that the child faced no physical harm but was suffering from Mowgli syndrome, named from the Jungle Book character who was raised by animals. He was later sent to an insane asylum to be cared for, since he could not engage in any normal human communication. Number 1. Oxana Malaya, the Ukrainian dog girl. Although this story seems to be far-fetched, Oksana, who was raised by dogs, comes in at number 1 on our list of the most feral children who were raised by animals. At 3 years old, her alcoholic and neglectful parents exiled her from the house. From here, she had decided to take comfort in the dog kennel that was behind her house. She found comfort in the dogs and learned their skills, their way of eating, sniffing, and walking. When police tried to rescue her the first time, they were drawn away by dogs and Oksana barking at them. But when they successfully were able to rescue her from the dog kennel, she only knew how to say 2 words, yes and no. At first, in 1991, she was unable to speak at all. But in 2010, she was living at a home for the mentally handicapped and was able to look after the cows at the clinic's farm. As usual, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, be sure to like it and leave a comment. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button to see more awesome Top 10 clips. We come out with Top 10 videos just for you every week. You can also now follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and other social media platforms. Check out the links in the description.